Oh, damn. Welcome. Hi, stream. Okay, cut. Josh, you cut this? 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Soul Brothers, the finest podcast on Solana with my dear friend
Simon.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, bro.
With my dear friend Simon.
Josh, one more time. Okay, Josh, cut. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Soul Brothers, the finest podcast on Solana with my dear friend Eno and myself, Simon. Where it is our job to throw you into the Solana rabbit hole and show you around in our exciting ecosystem.
Our mission is to take you on the latest and greatest so that you never run out of fun things to talk about. Simon, I love that hat. I think it says Internet Capital Markets. Bucket hats look very, very good at you. How was your session at the gym today? Good?
Very good. Yes, I trained some arms, trained some biceps, trained some triceps, and just trying to get this off my Trying to get my smoothie in after my workout right now. It is early here in Serbia, not too early though. It's 9:30 in the morning, 9:50 now. And the Soul Brothers are here to report what happened in the last couple of days. And it's been pretty crazy. I don't know if you followed everything, but from robots that you can subscribe to with a monthly lease, to the FOMC meeting and Trump meeting with our good old Chinese president over in South Korea. Actually, I think that's where the meeting took place, if I'm not mistaken. To all kinds of new Solana news, including some big collaborations. It is definitely a seriously big week on Solana. So we do got plenty on the agenda,
Yeah, we do have plenty on the agenda. My favorite part of every podcast is watching Simon struggle with a bottle cap. It's whatever the fuck is. I don't understand how the world's strongest man always seems to have a problem with what's going on over there. Is that European regulation at play? Was that some sort of
what the fuck is this? Why do you they started like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, they started to fucking attach the lids on bottles in a way that you literally can't get rid of them. Let me try it again.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, there you go.
And now what is this? It is definitely some weird regulation in Europe, because they don't do it in every part of the world. And I think it's so annoying. You have the lid and you're fucking... Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about markets, Solana, prices, and all that fun stuff,
could you actually give us a rundown of what the agenda is going to look like today? Would love to hear kind of like a broad overview. What are we going to be covering?
Today on Soul Brothers, we're going to talk about the FOMC meeting that happened yesterday, the federal funds rate decision, the next move, and any outlooks and what it means for the markets. We're going to cover BSOL and GSOL and talk about what are these. And we're obviously going to talk about the new collab between Solana and Western Union, which seems to be also launching a new stablecoin, which is pretty crazy. Orb, a new Solana block explorer by Helios, is going to be covered. Toli did a little bit of some people say it's a hiccup on a live stream on the main Solana account when he gave, let's say, blunt feedback to a startup. We're going to cover a little bit what happened with this robot that is now popping up on my timeline everywhere, and how one of our fellow creators in the Solana ecosystem got more than 3,000 likes on this robot-related tweet that he put out there. We might be showing off the Solana Wall Street commercial, which I believe is actually a really good one. I really like to watch it. Really short and sweet, but if you haven't seen it yet, then you'll get a chance here with us on the pod. And we're going to cover some news from our partner. Solflare has launched a new feature on the mobile wallet, so we're going to talk about that. Flashtrade has also been cooking the past days. There's a few new developments that came out of the Flash account, including fee reductions on Forex and similar things. So we're going to dive into what's new over there. And we get some new free .sol domains for a particular group of users on Solana, and we're going to tell you who that is as well. So lots to cover, and I would suggest to dive into the
coziest part of the podcast. Of course, that is Simon's technical analysis. He's going to tell us everything that's going on with the price charts. I will obviously bring that screen up. Oh, Simon already beat me to the punch. Or Nick is here. Hey, Nick. What's up?
Me.
Yeah.
Shout out to our operator backstage, who's keeping the lights on really here in this wild project.
Smooth operator, smooth.
Very smooth, very smooth man. We're looking at the chart right now. I got the Solana chart open. It is the 1 hour chart. It is today, the 30th of October. We are soon about to close the monthly candle of the October, which hasn't been a lot of upwards movement, honestly. Actually, maybe we can start there and take a look at the monthly zoomed out chart of Solana and see how we're doing over there. So this is Bitcoin. This is Solana. It's not an up month right now. So on my chart, if you're watching on YouTube or on Twitter and you see the visuals as well, we see a white candle. In this chart, I have a different coloring. The white candle is negative, so this is a down movement here right now in October, and the candle is gonna close in 1 day and 15 hours. And usually these monthly closes are relevant because they indicate they can indicate a trend and where we're leading. I think it's looking okay because we literally look at this. We're holding like the wick down here that we saw in October went all the way down to
Wait, so
the August
is this
level.
the first historical downtober ever?
Is it the first historical downtober ever? I mean, let's take a look. We have October in 2024 was a pretty good one. At least we have a blue candle over here. Then we have October in 2023, which was definitely a good one. There was a up candle right here. And we have October in 2022, which was flat. Okay, so not a big downturn here, but this October was quite flat in 2022 post-COVID. And then we saw actually quite a pullback in the next following months after this, in November and in December, and then it started pumping in January in that cycle. Then we have one more over here, which was definitely a good one. That is probably one of the best candles we have here in October 2021. So mostly bullish, but there has been 2022, there has been an outlier here, and this month is an outlier as well in that whole agenda. Anyway, if we close above $170, which is very, very likely, if nothing crazy happens in the next 2 days, then we should close above the August low, basically, where the monthly candle closed in August. That is okay. That is good. We're holding the upward structure. The trend is definitely up. I could draw a line here on the chart that signals that we're on our way up still. Okay, so it's not that bad. Even the FIB count that is on my chart right now, zoomed out, very broad FIB count starting in 2023 with a 1, 2, 3. Third wave topped with $300 in the last all-time high. Impulsive to the upside. Fourth wave went down to $96, which is quite low. Okay, but it's still, there was last resort. Can be still valid. Fourth wave, and now in the fifth wave to the upside, anticipating a new high. It looks like we can print a new high. Yeah, from looking at this chart, right? The momentum is there in the long term. In the short term, it is very choppy. I don't really know what to make of this. So we look at the chart right now of Solana, again, hourly chart here. We did a big price drop back on the 11th of October. And since then, we've been in this sideways range, right? Nothing really happening. But all you guys need to know really is this yellow wave 1, yellow wave 2 to the downside here. Then we have a lot of sub counts here, a lot of noise in the midsection, and then we should be in this third wave right now, which is a diagonal pattern. So it's not an impulse. That is why it's a bit tricky as well. But we're trending up. Okay, we're trending up, higher high here as well. Right now we're doing higher highs. So I believe this could play out in a 3-wave structure. So this would be an A, a B, and then a C. Okay, so that's not on my chart yet. This 5-wave structure here is invalidated, by the way. That doesn't work anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a bit too deep. The 4th wave. I mean, it can technically still go, but it is. We pulled back quite a bit, and that is due to our friend Jerome Powell, really, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. Have you? I suppose you haven't followed the meeting too closely.
Well, actually, okay. No need to attack me, Simon. I'm reasonably informed, but yes, normally I do not pay attention to news items like that. Do you want to jump straight into our first update of the week? All right, Nick. So if you can pull this, if you want to pull this up, Nick. So one thing that's very, very interesting is looks like looks like Jerome Powell decided to cut it a little bit, right? Inflation's a little bit high, and unemployment numbers look like shit. So what was the decision, Simon?
I mean, rate cuts were highly anticipated and very, very likely. So no one really, it wasn't a surprise, right? Like usually when news like this happen, people anticipate the news, the market prices the news in very, very early as possible. And then when the news actually drop, nothing happens, right? It's sideways movement or even down. Because we already knew it's a 25 basis point rate cut that's going to go affecting the federal funds rate. Now, we're sitting at 3.75 to 4% federal rate right now. And this is the second cut this year. If you remember, there was another one in August, if I'm not mistaken, or in September. Yeah, in September. I think they're trying to improve the labor market and keep the economy strong. But it is also a bit spicy because inflation is also trending upwards still. They don't, obviously they always have to make sure that labor market stays strong, but also inflation doesn't go through the roof. So they have these two main goals, and all they can do is really with the financial or with the fiscal policy instruments they have. It's very limited, and rate cuts are the most efficient thing they can do, really. So I think that's why also there was an indication from Powell that there might be not too many more rate cuts this year. So that is a bit bearish. So it could be the last cut of the year. People were definitely anticipating another cut in December. So what's going to happen now is that first the market consolidates a little bit. That's what happens right now. We went a little bit down yesterday after he said it's going to be a pause. But if we would get another rate cut in December, if things change a little bit, if the labor market, dumps more, then that would be very bullish because now no one is anticipating it, right? So there might be some volatility later this year as well. But one thing I want to make clear as well is that these rate cuts are always just noise and they cause some short-term volatility, but they never really have affected the prices of Bitcoin and the broader crypto sector sustainably. They just don't do that historically. You can actually see it if you overlay the funds rate on a chart with Bitcoin. There's no direct correlation, really, right? You can make up shit, but there's no direct correlation. So that's why people always talk about the rate cuts and how important they are, but only for this one day, only for this week right now, really. That's where they cause volatility, but then the market follows again, or the chart follows again, whatever path it's on. And don't forget that we're still in a bull market. We're still in an uptrend. The uptrend is not broken. So every dip that we anticipate right now is for traders or for people that want exposure, a chance to buy the dip. It's not a sell all my bags, we're going down moment. Not yet, right? When that moment comes, we'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully by Q4, we'll have Jerome Powell saying better job numbers and lower inflation, or I cut it. And we'll see exactly what happens in Q4 of this year. But aside from macro market news, we of course have some Solana specific news. We have BSOL trading. Now it is the first Solana. It's actually not, but it's the Bitwise Solana staking ETF. And most people might see BSOL and be like, Bitwise has a LST. No, it's not a not a LST. It is the ticker for their stock, not their stock, for their ETF. And it is the first US ETP to have 100% direct exposure to spot SOL. Why do I feel like so many of these announcements keep fucking up and putting ETP instead of ETF? It's actually an ETF, right? We saw this for a Solana floor post. They say ETF in the graphic and then they put ETP in the text. So we need to fire a couple of interns here, both the maybe the Solana floor and Bitwise interns. But it is the first US ETF to have 100%. An ETP is not an ETF, Nick.
First, but it's an exchange traded product.
Yes,
so
it is.
He's actually right. An ETF falls under the category of exchange traded product. So there might be.
All right. Well, fuck me.
In
then.
the US. Yeah, fuck you. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. I thought ETPs were step 2 in ETF. Am I mistaken here?
In Europe, an ETP is a completely separate thing under Europe regulation. I don't know how the US jargon really handles the word ETP. That might be the category,
I see.
the broader category. But
I had like
don't listen to us, guys.
I had like a fucking 30-minute argument with Nick about different types of Chinese people, and I just can't right now. He's Nick, I need you to stop texting in the internal chat. I'm going to slap the shit out of you. And then,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's the work culture, guys, in the Sanctum
I
team.
know,
Keep
the
going,
work
Nick.
culture, for sure, 100%. But yeah, anywho, we have ETPs now live on Solana, 100% exposure to Sol. That is amazing. And aside from BSOL, we also have another entrant in the field, which is Grayscale. Grayscale has GSOL, which is this Grayscale Solana Trust ETF, offering investors exposure to Sol, one of the fastest growing digital assets, of course. We have a couple of ETFs that were approved.
Hell yeah, ETFs are here. We've been talking about this, for a while now. Like anticipating ETFs, Solana ETFs, when they're coming yet, they're coming not. They're delayed, they're not delayed. But now they're here. We had the SSK live since a while. It launched on July 2nd. The Rex Osprey Sol staking ETF. So whenever we said ETFs are delayed, it refers to the big boys that are listed on not only on some small shitty exchange, sorry guys, but on the big exchanges. And now we got BSOL, Bitwise, we got GSOL, Grayscale. They launched on 29th of October, and they do have over 200, almost 300 million assets under management as of now, which is good. Day one inflows. What do I see here? I have day one inflows of $70 million into the Bitwise ETF. That's pretty good. That beats 850 plus ETFs that launched. So it's actually a record 2025 debut for an ETF. I think it's actually pretty bullish news. Didn't know that. Just see it in my little notes here. But yeah, so I think good start. All right, good start. And here's something that I find interesting. Just one little nugget when it comes to ETFs. Ethereum ETF has been out since a while, right? The ETF of the Ethereum token, the ETH ticker, has the same, very similar narrative when it comes to the investment pitch than Solana, right? Because we are technically competing with our friends from over at Ethereum, because we're also a smart contract blockchain. You can build apps on this. You can build financial markets on this. You can bring a lot of use cases on chain using Solana or using Ethereum. Now, Ethereum has been a bit of a shitter in the past couple of months. Sorry, guys. But there hasn't been the same mind share about Ethereum, and also the price action hasn't been as bullish, and also the digital asset treasury anticipation has started in Ethereum land, but then really kind of pulled through on Solana. So that tells me that there is a lot of interest in Solana, but people couldn't, there wasn't an ETF. Now, the Ethereum ETF is pretty big, and there's a lot of money in there. I think there's very realistic chance that we can capture a very good chunk of that ETF into Solana, because now these people can diversify, right? Now they can actually take half of their Ethereum ETF funds and put it in Solana. Which is a very rational choice, because you don't want to bet everything on one horse if you're a normal human being, not like us, right? So I think that is definitely a big chance for us to get some more inflows directly from other ETFs like Bitcoin and Ethereum into Solana, which is bullish, pretty bullish.
This is all very bullish. It's just different ways to get capital into our bags, folks. But aside from that, we also have some blockbuster partnerships with Solana Foundation. So we see here that Western Union has announced the USDPT stablecoin on Solana. But more importantly, Western Union will now be using stablecoin rails for settlement. Most everybody knows that the fees for Western Union transfers are absolutely disgusting. They're 20% to send money from one location to another, often used for remittances for, let's say, folks that are working in the US and want to send money back home, let's say over to Southeast Asia or some parts of India or wherever you may be in the world. Obviously, with stablecoin transfers, that would make the settlement of those remittances mere pennies on the dollar. And so what I hope to see is significantly reduced fees. Western Union can still make a shit ton of money. and maybe people who are remitting back to their hungry families back home can keep more of the money that they earn.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, what do you think of this? Like this is it's a big collab. I think that was one of the big news that Solana intern was referring to when he said big seriously week at the start of this week. And we see a lot of these collabs. What we need to see more as well is what, like, the actual outcome, right? Like what happens next? And I think with Western Union, nothing's going to happen this year, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I think it is about to, like, this was like announcement. There's going to be a collab. They're gonna do shit on Solana. They utilize Solana for payments, but I think it's going to take until 2026 to actually see it, live and in the basically that you can actually use it, the service, right? So yeah, right now, bit of big news, like huge news, but also noise, right? Until we see something coming out of it, really, right?
Yeah. We literally have zero idea what the rollout of this program will look like. Perhaps it'll be very specific corridors, like let's say US to Mexico first, or perhaps the US to the Philippines. We don't know. But obviously there is a roadmap. Any collaboration with Solana Foundation usually requires milestones, especially if there's money or grants involved. Speaking of which, there was an allegation by people who know absolutely nothing that Solana had to write a $25 million check with Nick, you can put that up on screen, with $25 million in liquidity stimulus for only a 6-month exclusive. But looks like, if you look at comments like Vibu, he says, you guys should get your story straight, which would be more credible, because another person from Ethereum land said that $50 million was paid by Solana Foundation. And I think Vibu had a pretty good working theory for how this misinformation got started, is that a large corporation, in this case, Western Union, looking to reinvent itself with digital assets, talks with a range of crypto foundations looking for help. Some foundations move aggressively to make financial offers, setting an expectation for an incentive bidding war. Ultimately, said large corporation, Western Union, makes a decision based on what they think is best for their go-to-market comprehensively, and foundations that lost the deal start spreading a rumor that they were outbid at a certain number because they can't possibly fathom that there were other considerations at play. So I think that is probably one of the best summations of how this rumor got started, because there are multiple sources from people participate from foundations of other chains who would have a benchmark figure of what the bidding war was to get Western Union's business. And it looks like Solana won that purely on technical merit.
What are these companies looking for, right? They're looking for a stable infrastructure, so a network that can sustain itself. Solana hasn't been there for a while, right? Like just 1-2 years ago, actually like one year ago still, I think, that we had this dark shadow hovering over our head, which was like, okay, you guys have outages. You're not a stable network. If you want to do shit that is actually real world kind of use case with a lot of money, you go to Ethereum because they've been around since 10 years and they have a stable network, right? With no outages. Now Solana hasn't had an outage for record-breaking number of days. I think it's probably been 1.5 years or something. It looks like we're not getting any outages anymore because we've sustained through really, really a lot of stress this year in moments like meme coin craze or the recent dump, even, right? The liquidity, the mass liquidations. We sustained that. So they're looking for that. They're looking for a stable infrastructure. What else do they look for? They look for liquidity. They look for money, right? There needs to be transfers going on. There needs to be liquidity in that ecosystem. Solana has a lot of USDC, a lot of
actual usage.
Actual usage. They're looking for activity, right? And Solana is the most used chain, I think, still, right? You can definitely make a case for that by numbers, by facts. What else are they looking for? They're looking for tech, right? They're looking for speed, execution speed, and payment prices, or prices to execute payments need to be low as possible. Ideally, much lower than what they do in the old world, right? And we check all these boxes, so yeah, I'm not really surprised.
Another thing too that I think a lot of folks discount, and it's why Solana is winning the institutional war, is that all institutions require a counterparty. right? Like, so in fact, Ethereum's ethos of being super decentralized works against them. And the reason for this is because they don't have the same, whether we like it or not, corporate structure that Solana Foundation has, right? So if you have a very efficient corporate structure, which is very centralized, to be fair, it also means, though, that like we can do a lot more centralized BD efficiently with, you know, hundreds of different organizations that are talking to us all around the world, right? It's not just the United States. We're talking to institutions in Japan, in Korea, in Argentina, in Georgia, in Uzbekistan, in Kazakhstan, in India, in any single corner of the world. Like, we have the organization that can actually handle all of that inbound, which works with a more centralized, you know, organization. So Solana Foundation is another competitive advantage we have for securing these institutional deals.
Yeah, and not only foundation itself, but also all the kind of arms that lead out of the foundation. Like the extended arms are the super teams of Solana, which we have, and some of them are really, really high quality institutional focus. I just talked to a builder last night that went to a meetup in London, and he's here from the Balkans, and he went to London. He's building on Solana. He's Software, and he went to this random Luma event that said Super Team UK meetup, right? And he expected some crypto meetup, you know, with like funny merch shirts and hats like me, like looking like myself right now. But then he went there and everyone was in a suit. Everyone was wearing a tie. And he was like, where am I? What is this? And then he realized, oh, damn, Solana is actually, you know, this is where we're at now. Like, we're having events, we're having side events on Luma where a bunch of bankers and institutional folks show up to learn about Solana. Like, we didn't have that 1-2 years ago. So it's and this is not even foundation, right? There was a super team organized event because Super Team UK is really, really strong when it comes to sparking interest in Solana coming from institutions. And I just don't see this happening in that scale on any other ecosystem. Really, really bullish on the capability of people working on Solana to secure big deals like this. Internet capital markets, guys, we're doing it.
ICM! And speaking of new innovations to the market, we have a brand spanking new product that has been released by our friends over at Helios. It is called Orb, O-R-B, Solana at the speed of thought. What exactly is it? It's a block explorer that leverages AI to give you a human-readable summary of what the transaction was. If you've ever used SolScan or Solana Explorer, certainly those are great public goods and companies that help you understand, even in the past, Solana FM, that help you understand what a transaction is. But if you're a first timer who's never looked at a transaction before, it can be very, very confusing. There are terms like compute units and a bunch of different LAM ports and compute instructions that are being shared. And obviously, you can still get all of that information on Orb, but more importantly, you can get a more retail, consumer-focused summary of what the fuck happened when you sent money from point A to point B. What is this transaction? So this is a, you know, Mert has been talking about this block explorer for a very, very long time. And my understanding is that they have been working on this actively over the last year, and now it is live. So congratulations to the entire Helios team.
Interesting. Let me just, okay, I'm the first time using this product. Can you click on my screen, please? I think we lost Nick. I'm the first time here using this product. I'm on orb.helios.dev right now. And what am I doing? So I have a transaction ID here. Let me see if I can plug this in. This is the transaction. Okay, so with Meteora DLMM 3 days ago, instruction summary. Where do I see what happened? Where's the AI part of it? Explain with AI. There's a button. Okay, cool. So that's pretty intuitive. Now it's scanning, it's analyzing, because these explorers are very technical, right? If you don't have, let's say you don't know really what crypto is doing, you look at this right now, like everything that's below here, and you're like, what happened? Who interacted with what token program? What even is a token program? You need to be quite familiar with Solana and how Solana works to fully understand what's happening here. But if you have the AI here, let's see what nasty things we did here. Token transferred 2,000 solid and 0.04 sol via Metaplex fee claim. Key points, transaction fees stated, transferred how much solid from where to where. routed via Metaplex fee claim program. Additional information, social token counts created for Sol and Sol. Okay. I mean, yeah, it's kind of a summary, right? It sums up real quick what happened. Would be cool to even see even more of this, because what I did here was probably claiming liquidity pool fees, if I recall that correctly. So we claimed liquidity pool fees, but that was the action. I'd like to see that, like what actually what was the on-chain interaction that was done here, and why? Like, if the program could find that out, that would be very powerful.
Yeah, what you're talking about is more of the intention behind the transaction, right?
Yeah.
Which isn't always knowable, right? But in some cases, for example, a DeFi action on Metaplex, it actually should be quite, I wouldn't say obvious, but something that you could extrapolate, right? Like, okay, this, with enough data and enough understanding of what people are doing when they interact with a very specific address, you can know what the intent or the purpose of that transaction was. And that is, I'm sure, already on the Helios roadmap. So again, congrats to the entire team for launching Orb beta. I am looking forward to testing it out and seeing whether or not I prefer it to other block explorers. Currently, I use SoulScan as my main. Moving on to other news, we also have this really, really cute kind of incident that happened over the last couple of days. So there's a fork of Solana, and what's it called, Simon? Anal OS?
No, it's called Anelos.
Anal OS. The Anal operating system, which is simply just Solana backwards. And there was a live stream, right, Simon? How much did these people pay to be on the live stream with Toli? Yeah,
$40
bands.
Yep,
40 bands. Yeah,
and how did they pay? Do you know?
I have no idea. How actually did they pay? It was just USDC on time.fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I thought that was a trick question. I was all like, did they pay in pump tokens or something? Like what?
No, but the time.fun component is the interesting part, I feel like. So
yeah.
Because the backstory is like this team wanted to get in touch with Mert, with Toli, with some important people. And you can't just DM them, right? Difficult. So they usually don't get back. But we at time.fun, there was, I think it's the first time actually that this format happened, where you can have an auction and people auction by the chance to talk on a live stream with Anatoly and with Mert, and with the team of Lions, I think, as well.
Yeah, on the Solana main account. And you guys can watch the video for yourself, and I would love to get your own interactions here. But from what it looks like in my perspective, they explained the project, and Toli, trying to be as diplomatic but as honest as possible, threw his hands up and started laughing and basically said, like, look, I really don't know what to tell you. This just feels like a useless fork to me, and then the founder responded by laughing on camera because he's coping with the current situation of the founder of Solana saying that his fork of Solana is bullshit. And I think that this tweet by Braun Guy very accurately summarizes. Oh, this is the video. Yeah. Yeah. You can see the founder of Anal OS laughing at Toli scratching his head and saying sorry.
It's not the founder of Anal OS. There was Ken from Alliance. He was Alliance now, and he was just cringing a little bit. Not cringing, but he was like, "Oh, did you really say that right now, Toli?" That was his reaction. Because Toli was like, he basically just stated like, "You guys are stupid, and what you're building makes no sense." Right. Yeah. But what happened after? Like, what was the whole drama on the timeline?
Yeah, I mean, they got all on their high horse and said like, "Oh my God, this is outrageous. We've been building and creating on Solana for months. Imagine building." Yeah, it's just a lot of righteous anger, What did Jay say over here? I would be pissed if Toli misled the public, but this is actually what is the hard truth. I don't see a problem with this, though. Now you know the real opinion. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy for a person to give their honest opinion about. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck around and find out, right? You went on a live stream and you were looking to get attention for your product. It happened to be a fork of Solana. If it's going to be a fork of like, there are certain ideas where I could see totally being a little bit more diplomatic. Like, I don't know, like Moonwalk. I personally believe in Moonwalk's mission, but let's just say for the sake of argument that for whatever reason, Totally was just like, I'm not so sure how I feel about using.
It's his opinion.
Huh?
He should.
Yeah,
Say, he
but I
should
mean,
be able to say that publicly, right? Like,
yeah.
why
No,
are
well,
you?
no. My point is that the bar for quality for what you're trying to pitch Totally is clearly different for a fork of Solana, right? Like that you need to be coming with something completely different than what Anza Labs is working on. Aside from, I actually have no idea. Does anybody know what it really does aside from being connected to the shitcoin?
I mean, we can pull up the tweet here from Analos where they I don't even want to say that word all the time, but okay. Let's see if they have like a development plan, upgrade to our validator, and use the Gava stable version, and so on. It's like a really, we spent months building and prepared the best we could. Our chain is fully functional. We don't have any VC money, just a small team of believers, something creative, never been done before. We still don't understand why our auction fee was accepted if participants didn't even research the project beforehand and choose to disrespect it publicly. Can I say my opinion, honestly?
Here? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Shut the fuck up. Like, what? Like, I mean, honestly, like, what do you, like, you paid 40K to go on a stream. That's what, like that, and that's what you got, right? You didn't pay off a KOL and made a deal with him to promote your project, right? That was not the transaction. If you come to me and you be like, Simon, I have this shitty project, but I want you to talk nice about it. Here, would you accept $100,000 to give me a pitch, right? And tell me how great I am. Then I would say them, yeah, just fuck off. But someone else would probably say, yeah, sure, give me the 100K, and I'll bold post your project. If you then take the 100K and you then shit talk about their project, then you're a fucking retard because you made a deal with them to promote it. But that was not a promotion. That was not what it is. Like the auction fee was accepted because you won the auction. What do you mean? Like, it was an auction. Like, there's nothing to accept. Like, it's you outbid the others. You got your place on the stream, right? Participants didn't even research the project. I don't think Totally was like, taking 1 hour of his time during the day to be like, now I'm going to prepare for this live stream. Let me see who won and let me dig into whatever they do. No, he was like, okay, this is fun. I'm going to show up. I'm going to, spend 1 hour of my valuable time on that live stream, and I'm going to listen to them and see what they tell me. And if they can't convince me on the stream that whatever they're building is cool, why the fuck should I invest time to dig deeper in their docs? Like, you're literally talking to him and you didn't manage to convince him that it was worth it, right? So good marketing play, good attention, kind of grab. You got people like us talking about you now, which is great for an LOS. But bottom line, probably more negative news than positive news for the project.
Yeah, I don't really understand what the value add is here. What they did is they built their own native RPC, wallet, Explorer, DEX, Launchpad, and Bridge.
Chain.
Yeah, but why would that make it better? It would be better. It's better to have competition where everybody is building their own version of RPC, wallet, Explorer, DEX, Launchpad, and Bridge. It's not inherently better for the team to build it. Like, no, I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be nice and be like, is there anything inherently? Is there some sort of like philosophical argument that can be made about, that would be like saying that Anza should make an official,
look,
Solana wallet. It just doesn't make any sense. Like the logic is not logicking.
I'm pretty sure I look at this and I can already tell you how the team looks like. It's a bunch of young guys. I don't want to say where they're geographically from because they would be probably racist, but I have an idea. And these guys they built something fun. Have a little fun project over there. They have no business acumen. They don't know, how to sell this. They don't have a value proposition really for the world. But they're like, this is fun. We're going to do it. We're going to name it ANLOS. Obviously, they don't have the intention to build world-changing technology if they name their product ANLOS. no bank will put their money on your blockchain, guys, because of your brand. So even if your tech would be good, the name is shit. It is fun. It's a meme coin, guys. It's just it's a big meme, right? So there's no utility. They just built a copy of the blockchain, right? And they say we have the same shit than you have on Solana. Come to us, why not? But there's no value prop. So that's my opinion. Let's see what else we got on the timeline. Is there anything that's more exciting than this? Because I don't want to talk about an LOS anymore.
Yeah. Well, you can talk about Redwood OS, which is actually powering this new robot called Neo. Neo is founded by Brent Bornich. Oh man, I cannot pronounce Northern European names. Can you take a stab at that?
It's just
Bornik. Okay, I see.
But Bornich. I don't know the O. I don't know what they do with their fucking O. They have this O. They make a line through the O, and they invented a new letter. I don't know how to pronounce this, but what are they doing, sir? The company is called 1K Tech, I think. 1K Tech.
Yeah, 1K Tech. They have been working since 2014 to create autonomous robots that will do your house chores, and ostensibly a lot more. Obviously, since 2014, we've made major advancements in AI. So not only and robotics. So what that means is that at least the conversation portion of having an autonomous robot in your house doing your chores for you and understanding your commands has been more or less solved, right? Maybe not to the degree of specificity that we would like, but in terms of understanding the command and then executing the command and responding to you, acknowledging that they understood that command. That problem has been more or less solved. That is not a trivial problem. That is a huge development since they started working in 2014. Obviously, as well, you can see this very sexy product video some people might think it's creepy, but I actually think it's quite sexy. Product video of the robot. That it has very, very soft, exoskeleton made of silicon and rubbery hands, and they claim it can do all sorts of house chores for you. So this would include vacuuming the dishes, opening the doors. Here are some of the specs. 4-hour battery life. It has a soft body with 3D lattice polymer. 4 microphones, can carry up to 55 pounds, and a max noise level of 22 dBs. But here's the catch, Simon. This robot's not actually out yet, right? It's just a pre-order. You can also pay what, $500 per month if you don't have. Yeah, if you don't have $20,000, it also comes with a companion app. I will stop talking here, but yeah, this is just some ideas of what you can do with the robot.
And I want to talk about this here. If you pull up my screen, so the robot was launched, and one of our friends over at Solana, Ashen, he used the moment, and made a little tweet about the robot. Genius idea. Okay, so he said, if this tweet gets 1,000 likes, I will buy this $20,000 robot and make videos with it every single day. I also won't tell my wife until it arrives at my doorstep, and I let you guys name and tattoo it. This is a serious post. You can ask anyone that I'm for real about this. And here's 2 things why this worked so well. A lot of people didn't see this robot thing yet, and they might seen this for the first time in this post with Ashen. They were like, what is happening? What is this 1X? What 1K? What are they doing? So he was like very early, like he saw the news about the robot and he tweeted this. And the robot is pretty interesting news. Like when I saw it, all of us had the same reaction. They were like, whoa, is this for real? Are we in the future now? And then the second thing why this tweet worked well is because the content that he wants to make with this robot is going to be pretty cool to watch, right? He's going to make videos with it every single day. I want to see that. So people just like the post. And how many likes do we get here?
Over 3,000 likes. What is it now? It's 4,000 now. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. So he got a lot of likes for this. A lot of very high like to views ratio, honestly. Only 220,000 views, but 4,000 likes. So the post went really well. And Ashen has to buy a robot now. I have a few sponsors hitting me up now. If you're a company that would like to help pay for this, DM me and I'll put your entire logo wherever, all over its body. I'll give this post a 24-hour timer. 20K ain't cheap. 1,000 reached. I'm a man of my word. I see there's blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, I think he ordered it. Your Neo pre-order is confirmed. We will notify you when your Neo is ready to be shipped.
Okay, well, that is...
Solana builder Ashton pledges $20,000 to buy the robot. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Simon, you and I talk about doing crazy stunts all the time, but like we're just very different people than Ashen. I have massive respect for what he does because he's got a huge set of nuts. I don't know if I have the balls to tell my wife that I ordered $20,000 robots just for the impressions, but
well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Happy wife, happy life.
Yep.
But in other AI related news, and I suspect that parts of this video actually might be generated by AI, we have this video called Solana on Wall Street. And it's been produced by Solana Foundation. This video is, dude, man, like the thing with AI these days is whenever I see a really well-produced video, like I just don't really know anymore. Like part of me thinks like, no, this was shot with real people. Like this looks completely realistic. But now we just live in a completely different, like, is this AI generated? Look at these charts. I have no fucking idea. Honestly, I have zero clue. But this, like,
people literally ordering robots right now to their homes to help them wash the dishes. I think we can make videos that look like real but are actually AI. I think we're there yet. We're there now. I think this is AI.
But clearly a really a lot of inside jokes, a binder full of Ansem top signals, Solana shades on the Wall Street Bull. Wall Street meets Solana. We talked about this on Monday, but there is a Solana store that is being put on by the Solana Spaces team. There is also the very prominent website whysolana.com. If you are a first-time listener of this podcast and you have absolutely no idea whether or not you should be bullish on Solana, then I implore you to please visit whysolana.com. You will understand the bull case for Solana, the core metrics that are driving our chain. And now it is time for some sponsor updates. So first up, we're going to start with Solflare. Our product team got so tired of hearing you request when tabs on mobile. Oh, fine. You win. You finally get tabs on mobile. Ladies and gentlemen, Tabsolutely covered. So if you want tabs for your Solflare wallet on mobile, now you can see multiple different explorers. I actually was running into this problem literally yesterday. So now I will be using this feature.
Yep. Guys, you're a bit late to the party, okay? Like, we gotta be honest. We love you, Solflare, but we should have seen this feature 6 months ago. But I talked with the Solflare team internally, and they said the same thing to me. They're like, "Yep, I know, we know." But it's good. It's good. Now you have the Solana wallet with all the capabilities you need. Not only you have Solflare Guard helping you to, guard your transactions and warn you if there's anything malicious. Not only have you access to, staking in a single click, and very soon a card that you can use to spend your money from your wallet directly to buy yourself shit in the real world. Nope. You also have an Explorer tab. You have a browser in the wallet on your phone. You can open several pages. You have tabs. So you can tap into the full world of DeFi directly from your Solflare wallet, not only on desktop, but also on mobile. Let's use the moment again to make sure that you guys all signed up for the card, because Bert came and how do you say? Ein Vogel zwitschert. I don't know how to say it in English. But someone came and told me that we will have an end in sight for this whole campaign. So the campaign might end at any moment. And the campaign is $100,000 in a raffle pool that will be distributed between everyone who goes and orders and KYCs, not orders, but KYCs your account for Solflare. So if you want to take part in that raffle, then you better head over to either solflare.solbrotherspod.com or simply to what's the other link? I don't know. But you go to solflare.solbrotherspod.com, and then you will be able to get your card.
Thank you very much, Boop, for that waitlist.solflare.com/soulbrothers. That is where you can register for your Solflare card. And obviously it requires a little bit of KYC, but it's very quick and painless. Next up, we have a team that's been quietly building on Solana for a very long time, and they seem to get their hands on every single major project. We are talking, of course, about the Solid team, not to be confused with the Solana ID team, get Solid token. But yeah, we're friends. We're all friends. But Solid with a Y. They create phone cases, and they also have custom phone cases for the Seeker. So that's really good news for all our Seeker fans out there. And we have a custom case for Soulflare. So that's really, really neat. And moving on, of course, we have a special live broadcast between two of our sponsors, SNS and Flash Trade. Simon, I've said it before. I'll say it again. I absolutely love it when our sponsors collaborate with each other. I am very happy that they are friends. We, of course, have NiftyDegen.Sol, Celine.Sol, and Anas, who is the co-founder of Flash Trade. And I'm sure they'll just be talking about how you can use SNS domains in the Flash Trade product.
Nice. I will certainly tune in to this one. It is today. It's going to happen today at 5 p.m. UTC time. So make yourself a little note to tune in to the special between Flash Trade and SS. Good stuff.
Do you know how I know that the Seeker team is cooking, Simon?
How?
It's because every single fucking one of our sponsors has a collaboration with Seeker, and it's all coming out right now. You can get a free 10-character domain with your Seeker phone, courtesy of the SNS team. So any domain that is over 10 characters, if you have a Seeker, you can claim your free SNS domain. So that is also a huge benefit for anybody who owns a Seeker phone. I think that's a $20 value, if I'm not mistaken, at current prices. I could be wrong, could be more expensive, but I do believe it is $20 US. Seeker starts with you. All right, so moving on to other news. Of course, we have Flash Trade, and you're not going to believe this, Simon, but we have Flash Trade stickers for your Solid case. So as I said, there's just a bunch of different collaborations with the Solid phones, with the Seeker phones. I don't know why we have so many of these updates with the Seeker this week, but it just seems like the Seeker team's putting in a lot of work. So I guess this is just another way of saying buy your fucking Seekers. If you haven't bought your Seeker, then you are not going to make it. Are you using your Seeker, by the way? How are you enjoying it?
It's in Germany since 2 months. I haven't been there, so it sits in somewhere in my parents' house. I have no idea where it is exactly, but it's there. I got a picture of it, I think, at some point from my mom, and she's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just don't worry about it." So unfortunately, I can't use it right now. I got to make my way to Germany. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but Solid is actually cooking. Solid with a Y. They launched a custom sticker phone case configurator where you can put your own stickers on the case online and then order it, basically. And they have a few collabs, so you can find Flash Trade stickers, SNS stickers, Solana ID stickers in that configurator, and you can order yourself your very custom phone case or software as well. That's why we see lots of these news regarding the Seeker.
I think another huge update from the Flash Trade team is Forex fees have been reduced by 50%, and support for the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, and the Indian rupee will be coming. And bro, these fees are fucking nuts. If you know anything about what the typical fees are for currency to currency pairs, this is nothing. They're cutting the Forex fees down 50% now to 4 bips, which is like 4/10ths of a man, I'm so bad at math. But 0.04%, which if you look at any other currency exchange in the world, I mean, they're going to be charging you upwards of like 20, 30, 40, 50 bips per. I mean, and that's if you get a good rate, right? If you go get your money exchanged at some mall kiosk or at the airport, I mean, you're going to be eating multiple percentage points. So the fact that they are cutting down the fees from stablecoin to stablecoin swaps down to 4 BPS is actually fucking massive. I cannot wait for Forex on chain. We're getting there with stablecoin regulation. I feel like we should be covering this a little bit earlier in the podcast, just because this feels like really, really big news. But yeah, I mean, don't you want to live in a world where you're not exchanging your currencies on Wise or any of these neobank banks anymore, and they're eating their percentage. I know that they try their best, but like you just can't compete with 4 bips.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Lots of innovation happening, and when it comes to forex, really, on Solana, and like the fee part of the whole equation here is still I think flash trade is the cheapest place you can leverage trade right now, not only for forex but also for commodities, which you can't really trade anywhere else anyway, but also for our cryptos, right? Like even trading Sol, ETH, BTC in size on flash trade, even if you're a new user, it's already quite cheap. But as soon as you stake a little bit of FAF and you make it into a higher tier, then you get a lot of fee reductions. So if you get the highest rank, it's level 6 with flash trade. If you have enough voltage points for that, then you will have 12% fee discounts on the already cheap fees, right? So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, but we're not done. This has been a really, really hot week for Flash Trade. This next update is actually one of the coolest things I've seen in a very, very long time. You can now trade directly on the chart. So instead of looking at the side console where you input a number and like the size and position over there, like this feels like a much more intuitive way to open up a position. You can now long or short open up a buy or sell on the chart. So that's actually really, really cool. It feels very intuitive, right? Because we often make our decisions about whether or not to trade based on the chart. So why wouldn't you just do that directly? Especially if you're trading with leverage, like you want to be doing that fairly quickly. So doing it straight on the chart saves you seconds, but those seconds turn into real dollars in your account.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And it is also something you don't get on any other apps right now. So definitely unique UI feature on the charts. You can pull up my screen. We can actually try it out. Let's go to the 5-minute chart on flash trade. Let's put a little bit of Sol. Let's just make like $10 ish. Something like this. Let's do $10 with a leverage of 100. Let's do 200x because why not? 200x, and I think we're going. It's right now the fucking chart is shit. Because we're kind of dumping, but we're also ranging, which is good. I think we might drop a little bit lower, but this is a very short-term trade. So let's.
You think it's going to test that resistance level a little bit, or you think it's going to the little miracle? I mean, I see two different resistance levels.
Yeah. I mean, it could drop lower right now, in the short term, but I think we are getting to a point where it will bounce. But obviously, if you trade with 200x, you can't really do a trade that you leave open for a couple hours and wait for the market to turn. Okay. Let's do long. And
wait, no, trade directly on the chart.
All right, yeah, sorry. No, but the chart trading actually is after the trade is open, you can set your. Oh, actually, can you? No, I think.
I'm learning.
But you can only do limit orders, right? So let's say we wanna short up here. So depending on if you go above the current price, it's gonna be short. If you go below the current price, it's gonna be long, right? So let's say we wanna short the market up here. Let's see if that might be too close. And also I can probably.
Okay, this is really cool though. I actually really like this. This feels much more intuitive than like trying to, like, there's like a visual aspect of like what I want to trade. It's like right when it hits this resistance level, like I want to open up a long, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking nifty. I like that.
I'm in the wrong wallet actually. I wanted to do this Solflare wallet. Let's see. Okay, so but yeah, I think you get the point of the feature. We don't need to stretch this any longer. But yeah, you can market, not market buy, but you can limit buy and limit sell directly on the chart. So if you again, if I want to short up here, you do it directly on the chart. You can put in your $5 or however much you want to do. $10 the minimum. You can select your leverage that you want to trade with. and then from there you're gonna basically open the order, right? And then as soon as the price is gonna hit that level, right now I didn't have to use the terminal at all. As soon as the price is gonna hit the limit order, it's gonna trigger, it's gonna open a short, and then we're gonna go down, right? Hopefully. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I will definitely be experimenting with that feature. Specifically, like, there's that one I like to call it the Simon resistance line. You know, there's like a resistance like that we've been tracking for the last couple of months, right? We've been continually testing. Like, I'd like to open up like a long, like right, you know, somewhere right in that cross section of the chart where that we support the Simon support line, the SSL.
I hope we don't get to the Simon support line anymore, you know, but we might do. But if
we do, I want to open a long.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah, you can set an order and just be prepared. If we don't reach it, you just take your money out again. But we might go down there. It would break the current upward trend a little bit, but it wouldn't break the major upward trend. It would be a higher low.
Yeah, see that? You got the well, I mean, there's so many different wave counts and numbers here, but we've tested that line, what, 4 or 5 times? I know there's a 3 right here in immediate history, but that's the 4th, 5th. Yeah, exactly. So we've tested the SSL 5 different times. If I were a betting man, and I'm not, but if I were, I would set up a long on the flash trade UI right at that SSL, right? So what would that price point be, right? Around $180, $179. That would be kind of sick, actually.
yeah, you can obviously, you can do it all on chart, right? You can just pull up the chart on flash trade, and you can try to, use the trading view elements in the chart. You can put your trend lines here. We can obviously put it somewhere here that it kind of matches the upwards trend, and then from there you should be able to tell where approximately you want to open that trade.
Right.
So that's pretty nifty. Yeah.
So obviously this is not financial advice, but we are giving you access to the cutting edge financial tools that are available in Solana DeFi for your trading needs. So Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure. Another banger episode. Solana has more staking ETFs, aka ETPs. Nick, sorry for snapping at you earlier. And also, we got Western Union working with Solana, some banger updates from Solflare, SNS, and of course, Flash Trade. It's been a pretty good week, Monday, Thursday, pretty banger. And we got more to come.
We got more to come, guys. Next week is going to be a big, seriously week as well. Yet again, I think for Sol. And we're going to be live again on Monday. So make sure to join the live streams if you want to get the news directly when they're there, or watch us on YouTube or on Twitter. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube account at Sol Brothers Pod. We'll see you at the next one. Have a good end of the week, guys. Cut.
Cut.
Okay.
All right. Do we have some delicious timeline reactions?
I don't know who's
no, we
still
do
here. I don't know who's still left in the live stream. We got Max in the house. Yeah, Max. We got
Max.
Will said Eno is my spirit animal right now. He might have left by now, though. We got Sumptus. GM.
We have Crypterminator Musk. I'll be back.
There's also this feature here. It's new on StreamYard where you can do live comments. So you can have like a little section here. You can make it bigger.
That's actually
make it smaller.
Not a horrible idea.
Yeah.
People always like to see their comments on stream.
Yep. But for this, we might need. Yeah, the thing is, like, we do recordings, right? So if we do too much stream interaction during the live stream, it might be not so nice for the actual podcast, because listeners to the podcast, they'll feel like excluded of the, like they want to. If I listen to a pod, I don't want to hear the hosts talking to the live stream audience. Really, doesn't add any value.
I mean, it's like it's kind of like a struggle for the soul of the show, right? Like, what exactly are we doing here?
Yeah.
Is this like a traditional podcast? Are we moving more towards streaming? It's kind of both, to be honest with you.
It should
But
be
yeah,
both. Yeah, I'm fine. But also, I mean, let's see. I want to. I mean, thanks everyone for jumping into these streams. I think it's a very good start. We have 200 views today on the live stream, and I think I'd love to. Like, I wanna live stream every week, with thousands of people in here, for Soul Brothers as well. Like, that would be my goal, with a very active audience. That would be really cool. Like, twice a week, super active people in the comments, and then we can also interact a little bit more, technically, but I want to keep it as minimal as possible to have not too much noise for the podcast listeners.
Yeah. I do love I do love the idea of audience interaction. I'm just wondering like how we would incorporate it in the show. But anyways, guys, I gotta bounce. And so does Simon, I think. So thank you very much for your time. We will see you on the next one. Nick, thank you so much.